Welcome to the Eye of the Storm, brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management. I'm meteorologist Eric Salna with the International Hurricane Research Center at Florida International University. In this video, we will learn about the massive task of cleaning up the debris after a hurricane. Bergeron Emergency Services will show us how they clear the roads and help communities recover.
Bergeron Emergency Services as a company provides what our local governments can't, which is just cleaning up massive amounts of debris that's all over the roads, safety and welfare of the general public, getting everything cleaned out. Municipalities don't hold that many assets, meaning equipment, to be able to handle that so that they can get in the first responders.
And one of the things that are important is the first 72 hours, to where all of the emergency services throughout this community has access down our roads. Whether it's ambulances getting to hospitals, whether it's the fire department, whether it's our police, that is real critical.
And everybody's hair is on fire because they're not used to sticks piled up, 25 feet in the air, 30 feet wide in front of their houses for miles, or telephone poles down, electrical lines laying around, water laying two feet deep, just depending on the magnitude of the wetness of the storm and the speed of the storm.
The federal government declares a state of emergency, or the state declares a state of emergency, and the county declares a state of emergency. We're monitoring each forecast period that comes through, and we react to each forecast period as it comes through. Then we subsequently have conference calls, just as the federal government does, the state government does, and local government does, to update our staff. Because all 200 folks are not coming here, but key staff are here in the war room. The charts that are up on the wall, the National Hurricane Center that we're monitoring. And as each forecast advisory comes out, we react to that. And that's a very intense process.
We pre-stage in fire stations, large equipment with operators sleeping in with the fire departments. Wherever the main zone's coming in, we don't run from storms, we actually run to the storms.
This is what they call a self-loading grapple truck. This is what you'll see on the streets in the coming days following a disaster. And this is what picks up the curbside debris, whether it be vegetative or mixed or commingled debris. As you can see, he's operating it now. This is kind of the gist of what it does, and picks up debris. We put it in that, and then we take it to a temporary site and dispose of it either there or at a final disposal. The strength of the arm is about 10,000 pounds, so it can pretty much pick up any tree or stump or debris. Depending on the magnitude of the event, you'll see anywhere from 200 to 500 of these trucks on the road picking up debris for 3 to 6 months, if not longer.
You have vegetative debris, you have construction and demolition debris, such as houses, fences that come down, mattresses. You also have white goods that are refrigerators, freezers. You also have household hazardous waste. And then there's also e-waste, such as TVs, stereo equipment, computers.
There's a little bit of math involved then, isn't there? Trying to do estimations, and so how do you calculate, and how does that get involved?
It's fairly simple, and let's make it real simple. Okay, so if you take your length of a roadway, so we'll take our mileage and we'll run all the streets, and we'll have a measurement of the width, and we'll have a measurement of the height, and then we'll take the length times the width times the height divided by 27 to give us our cubic yards.
My son has trained everyone to be FEMA certified, to understand the logistics.
What my father had taught me over the years, no matter if it came from working cattle, to building roads, or to just being a father. and having a good father that would teach you the things that you would need to know, the smallest things.
I've always told my children the most important thing you've got is your reputation. I've spent half my life trying to save the Everglades. The Everglades is one of the natural wonders of the world. I grew up in it. I'm a true Gladesman, love the culture. I thank my grandfather for introducing me to that culture. And it's so important because it's our drinking water for 9 million people. So we have a responsibility to protect the environment and all the wildlife and our drinking water for 9 million people in South Florida. The American dream is still alive, and God bless America. And I think opportunities for young people are there. And if you live the journey and you are successful, the greatest pleasure at the end of the journey is making a difference for others. I know we as a family are very honored when people are in a state of emergency to be able to come in properly prepared where people need help to get back to their lives.
You go from 0 to 100 miles an hour for 6 months straight, 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. Holidays, Christmas Day, every day. It doesn't stop till every last thing is done. You can't. It's the nature of the business.
Thank you for joining us for another Eye of the Storm. Today, I want to thank the team at Bergeron Emergency Services. With these trucks and a whole lot more, they're part of the team that picks up after a hurricane hits your community and communities all around the United States of America. I also want to thank Florida International University's International Hurricane Research Center for being a wonderful partner throughout this whole program, and of course our sponsors, the Florida Division of Emergency Management. Don't forget you can follow along with us at Mods FTL and follow on all of our social media platforms to make sure that you're prepared for Eye of the Storm.